Erin Entrada Kelly's 2017 Newbery Medal-winning Hello Universe weaves together the stories of four tweens and a kid sister as their lives intersect with serendipity, one fateful first day of summer vacation. This mid-grade novel is stuffed with heart and author's craft, and I can't wait to tell you about it in this video. Welcome back to Kid Lit Caboodle. I'm Gary, 4th and 5th grade teacher. Nearly everything about Hello Universe is perfect. Erin Entrada Kelly. I love how her initials spell out eek, by the way. But it's her characters and the care she takes to develop them and their crossing paths that really make the novel soar. I want to emphasize that Miss Kelly does wonderful things with point of view, which makes the novel such a joy to discuss with students. As each chapter switches between the various characters, writes them from the characters' distinctive voices and perspectives, mostly through what's called the third-person limited point of view, with one important exception, which I'll get to in a minute. So, just a little teacher's refresher here. The third-person point of view is one in which the author writes of the characters as an outsider, with he, she, and they pronouns, and an all-knowing, or what we call omniscient, voice. This allows the narrator to write like they are familiar with all of the characters' thoughts and feelings, or inner life. But in the third-person limited point of view, they write with the knowledge of the thoughts and feelings of just the particular character who's part of the story they're telling in a given chapter or section. That lets them keep their author's all-knowing perspective while also tailoring the voice to the particular character's thoughts and inner life so that we as readers feel like we get to know them a little more personally. Each character's chapter begins with a helpful icon to represent them, which gives readers a heads up as to who they are about. So let's talk about these wonderful characters. First, there's Virgil, or Virgilio, as his sweet Lola, or grandmother, calls him, a shy and scrawny Filipino-American boy, short on confidence, who's just come off a huge letdown of a last day of 6th grade that leaves him feeling like a grand failure, in particular because he never got up the nerve to introduce himself to a girl he wanted to meet all year long. Virgil has a pet guinea pig named Gulliver, so his chapters begin with a little guinea pig icon, as you see here. As the story gets underway, Virgil is setting out with Gulliver in his backpack to seek the wise counsel of Kaori Tanaka, who fancies herself a fortune-teller psychic and is followed everywhere by her kid sister Jen. A lot of the humor in Hello Universe, as well as the forward action of the story, rests on Kaori's serious/goofy spiritual hunches and her mini-me, Jen. Virgil asks Kaori's advice about his troubles and tells her about his crush, whose initials, he informs Kaori, are VS. Back to Virgil, who, while going through the woods on his way home from Kaori's house, runs into his nemesis, arch-enemy, Chet, the Bullens, whose playfully on-the-nose last name fits his character to a T. Chet has decided to go off on a snake hunt, and when he and Virgil cross paths, Chet starts taunting Virgil, finally grabbing his backpack with its precious passenger inside and throwing it at an old well before running off to resume his snake hunt. Virgil is left to inch down a rotting ladder into the well, where he's then trapped when he has to jump from the last rung to reach his backpack at the bottom, which is where he may indeed perish, or so he thinks. Enter Valencia Somerset, VS. She's the last of the main characters, and an amazing one at that. She's a girl who's lost her hearing when she was young, but Eek grants her a lovingly detailed inner life that's delivered in the novel's only true first-person narration. Valencia has ties to Chet as well, and the author contrasts her thoughtfulness and self-reflection to his cruelty and pettiness. She also takes time to show that though Valencia lacks true hearing, other senses compensate more strongly and give her a richness of experience that those who are not deaf may actually lack. Once Valencia comes across Kaori's business card, she's a psychic, remember, in the grocery store, and texts her for a reading, the final puzzle piece falls into place. Valencia is the keystone, the linchpin, the heroine, shall we say? Perhaps. Although we could also say that Virgil has his own literal dark well, like the dark night of the soul, to escape from, and he's led to take the steps he needs to escape by a spirit guide from his Lola's personal Filipino heritage and mythology, which is classic hero's journey stuff all the way. Not to mention that he stands up to Chet at the end, another thing he promised himself he'd do once he got out. So technically both Virgil and Valencia go through some stages of the hero's journey, which is basically a series of steps which can vary widely depending on the story that a hero goes through in order to achieve their personal heroic destiny. So I used a word in the introduction that really fits the way the author develops her characters and plot in Hello Universe, and that word is serendipity. Oxford Languages defines serendipity as the occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way, and generally refers to ways that life sometimes happens to put us in situations that seem like coincidence, but work for our benefit or advantage. With its carefully interwoven plot and characters, Hello Universe plays with the idea of serendipity in a wonderful way that suggests that when we reach for our genuine best selves, the whole universe can conspire to guide and help us along, usually in the form of our fellow human beings. Yes! Hello Universe offers this rich cast of lovingly detailed and heartfelt characters. Then, Kelly builds tons of empathy by giving them endearing and plausible, that means believable, weaknesses and strength that are easy for the reader to universalize into our own fears and challenges. This is what the best mid-grade authors are able to pull off, is to inspire kids and help them understand that their own oddball parts are really just normal or even special gifts that make them unique and give them the strength they didn't know they could muster to meet the challenges in their own lives. That's what I love about Hello Universe, and I'm glad I could share it with you. If you haven't read it yet, I hope you'll pick it up and leave a note down in the comments to let me know what you thought about Hello Universe or have any recommendations for other books you think I should pick up and review for the channel. Take care and happy reading!